we want to put protections in place for ourselves and our families if if you have a family that are married or children or so forth. And so some of those protections actually have to do with life insurance, with annuities, which is essentially protection against outgrowing your money. The life insurance is protection against if a person dies untimely, they'll have something to leave for their family. And so once we've identified the proper protection, specifically with life insurance, the rule is, and it's not a etched in stone, but just an industry standard, is if you have a certain level of income, you want to 10x that income, right? Traditionally, we talk about life insurance is usually to cover the personal residence or dwelling and also to fill in the replacement of salary or income that was coming in from a spouse or maybe a child or even, a parent, depending on how you have it structured. So rule of thumb is about 10xing that income. As far as the next one up, and I'm not going to go through every single point on here, but I do want to bring your awareness to the proper protection. Um, just curious, I know who all on here does not have life insurance. If you're on the call and you do not have life insurance, is that you? Okay. Yeah, so maybe that's something that Leeway can have a conversation with you about, um, because that's very important. And this is a very engaging presentation. I'm not going to be lecture style. Um, so that's one thing. You really want to think about that when you're building a financial future. Next, we want to talk about debt, and it has debt management here. But I believe that the more debt a person, and I'm going to say consumer debt, the more consumer debt accumulated, the harder it's going to be to build any type of wealth for yourself or your family. So when we have debt, you see here on the right-hand column, it has zero. Ideally, you don't want to be in any type of debt because all of the money that would be going toward building your wealth in your future would be going towards interest and paying a debt off. Then we want to talk about the emergency fund. Emergency fund essentially, you had a question? Somebody say something? No. So your emergency fund, you usually want to have at least 6 months stored up. Now, realistically, most people aren't going to have that, talking very practically. But if you can start with even 1 month, 1 month of your basic necessities, be it your mortgage or your rent, and an estimate of your utilities, so that in the event, God forbid, you were to lose income, you would at least have 30 days to as a cushion to recover from that. And then when we're talking about topping the financial house, we want to talk about investments. Now, investment is a very broad topic, but specifically we're talking about financial investments here. And when you're building investments, you want to build a portfolio over time. You don't want to build it and try to this get rich quick mentality. You want to build it over time. And that investment strategy should 20x your income. So just using round numbers, if you make $100,000 a year, the life insurance is going to be a downside protection against the investment. Okay. Also, you do have some upside, potential when you're talking about investments, because usually if you're talking about the stock market particularly, year over year for the last at least 100 years, it's been about a 10% increase annually. And so you're going to outpace inflation. Inflation, in layman's terms, is when the government prints more money than they have to back. And what happens is it reduces your buying power. So by leaving your money inside of a savings account year over year, essentially you're losing money or losing the buying power of that money when it's sitting in the account. Inflationary rate is usually about 1.5 to 3% annually. And so you want to find a vehicle that's going to perform and work for you. Okay. Any questions on that before we move forward?
So basically, we needed to like manage our money from the different level, just our foundations, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but in real life, many people consider investment is their foundation because they want to make money quickly. And they put all their eggs in one basket, which
Mhm.
their money can grow double or triple.
Mhm.
But when life happens, they just feel the pain. Sometimes it's the regret, but sometimes it's too late.
Yeah. Abby, did you want to share anything about the financial house?
So, Sazi, definitely, I would prefer to that the first layer of this stairs of financial foundation. I must say that that is very important, and we all should first focus on the proper protection, because if the base is not strong, nothing will be going to happen. Definitely, your house should have the base. In the same way, the financial building also should have a foundation, and that foundation we have done properly. So if we will mindfully do those all the four steps properly, it will be very helpful for us in the long run. Yes, thank you, Sazi.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I
Um,
also have a question for everybody online is that why
mhm.
sometimes we know the sequence, but why we procrastinate and we don't do it. Now, how can we change that mindset and really do the right way?
That's a great question. Um,
I want to ask our guest online, and have you ever thought about what kind of foundations you have and how you build your foundation from which kind of sequence you build? And if we think this is the right sequence, build the protection first, get eliminate debt, and save money for emergency, then we build our investment. But how can we do this, and how can we change our old habits to this habit?
I've been thinking of trying to like make more money. So March was supposed to be a uh, reduce my debt, and I have a medical bill and I have credit cards, and I wanted to pay off at least three by the end of March. Here I am, almost the middle of April, and wasn't able to do it. And I just felt like the in order to get to where I can start having to like putting money aside for emergency fund and investment, I wasn't able to achieve debt management. And I think that um, this whole progression with the image um, is the right way. I mean, I wasn't even able to get to the first step.
yeah. But it sounds like you have the mindset for it though. So that's the start.
Yes.
Some people are even opposed to that. They think, well, I know what I'm doing. I got this figured out. And really they don't. So, even I myself, Abby, Leeway, even though we've been in the industry for a while, we still, and I think, and tell me if I'm wrong, we still, at least I do, look at myself as a student because I'm always learning. We're always learning. The market is changing rapidly. Things are happening. But at the end of the day, we have to keep a growth mindset. So I think you're doing phenomenal in the fact that you even had those goals.
Yeah, that's right. And
Okay.
Mhm.
what about Anthony? You want shares?
The only thing I really could share right now is that when developing the growth mindset, having a positive attitude towards money, investing, and things like that, that there really needs to be a way to reach people when they enter the workforce and try to get them to understand the importance of all of those factors. um, Life insurance, investing, no matter how small, just to get in that mindset because the time in the workforce, it goes by a lot faster than people really realize when they're in it. So, as far as me and my growth mindset for the future, um, my wants are simple. Um, Property paid in full, just the basic requirements for living. And as far as investments and abundance and overage and things like that, my concern is more so for leaving monies for our daughter, uh, my nieces and nephew, and just some of those that are very dear to me, to get them in a position where it won't be so hard for them in life.
Wow, that's beautiful. It's like a generational wealth mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, step by step, and
Yeah. Yes.
leave something behind to help them to stand at a higher level to make a movement. And that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Charles?
Charles. Charles online.
Mm-hmm.
Charles, do you want to share your thoughts about this financial foundation? Hmm?
You're muted. We'll,
We
we'll
can,
come back around for Charles if you're having some challenges there. Okay. So out of these layers that we see here, which one, in your opinion, requires the most discipline? And I think that would probably be between, and oh, there you go. Charles?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I was looking at the chart. Wow, that's a pretty good chart. And wow, I was thinking about when I first got hired at my job, and different people come at you. You have somebody from the insurance come at you. You have somebody from the investment department come at you. You have some people come to you with the benefits, and they kind of pretty much break it down because everybody wants to pull from your income,
Mm-hmm.
and that's from the job.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you're at home, you want to see what could you put aside, such as the emergency fund, like if something go wrong. Like when I was coming up, Sears was popular. You had to have a Sears card, so just in case something go wrong, before
Mm-hmm.
all that. So that's the emergency part. investment, people always look at kids going to school, education, protection. We know, I think young lady mentioned about life insurance. So once you chop it all up, you just want to make sure it's going into the right direction, and then you manage the rest as far as your, your daily bills and food and the needs.
Mhm.
And it do take discipline. I think we touched on it the last couple of weeks about the risk. And I heard somebody say about procrastination. When it comes to investment, I think that's what people pumps the brakes, because I think today people are not looking 20 years down the road. They're not looking at that. They're looking at, you know what? I need what I can get right now because I'm living for right now. You may hear this phrase, tomorrow's not promised. I hear that a lot. I
Mhm.
hear that a lot. So people try to hold all their money so tight. They don't want to release it. They don't want to sow it into nothing, invest into nothing.
Mhm.
Zazie, I heard you say something about when it's in a savings account. So many people, all they know is to save, 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 which it ain't bad, but you
Mhm.
do need to push that money elsewhere.
Mhm.
And some people, that's all they know is to save, 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 put some money under a mattress or shoebox, but they don't look forward to spreading the money out like they should. Because I believe fear comes into play, because they feel like if I push too much out, I could lose everything, and they don't want to risk that.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah,
I want to I,
definitely.
wa- I want to just touch on something that Charles said
Mhm.
when he was Charles, when you were talking about how people just know to save, 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 and just the things that you shared. I think that kind of reinforces um what I was saying about people really needing this education and learning about the money mindset, especially when they enter the workforce. Because I can speak for myself. When I entered the workforce, I had no backing or no knowledge of investing or life insurance. I just didn't have that knowledge. And that was generational. I came from generations that were, ignorant about things pertaining to these matters. And now I'm at the point where, I'm going to be leaving the workforce and, just kind of continuing things as a entrepreneur. But what if I had had that way back then? And I think many people, a lot of people, they don't even save money. But the ones that all they know to do is save, I think a lot of people they're doing those are the only tools that they were given. And like investing and many of the other things that Charles mentioned, some people they just weren't raised in that. They don't have the knowledge, and they really don't take it seriously and realize how much time is gonna pass so quickly. So I just want to share that.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much for your sharing. And Charles and Antoine and even Abhilasha and Osasi and Anua. It's very just everybody just facing this challenge is that the financial illiteracy, and our parents didn't teach us, and the schools didn't teach us. But now we have to
Mhm.
learn from our mistakes, right?
Yes.
So why we have this Monday money mindset is that we keep doing it. This is our fourth month. We never stop, no matter what. We just want to get more people to join, even 30 minutes, to learn the wisdom so we can avoid any more pitfalls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Going
Definitely.
back to Osasi.
Okay. Yeah. So we actually, at our time, we do want to be respectful of your time, but, I knew we weren't going to get through too much this evening.
No, I
But I
think
would, yeah, I would like to, just open it up for a quick Q&A if we have maybe about a few more moments. Anua, Charles, Antoinette, if you all have any questions, it can be related or, even loosely related to our topic this evening. But we are here to answer those questions and to help, provide some answers and solutions and guidance for you all.
Hmm. Hmm. Wow, what comes to my mind?
Yeah, after the first person asks the question, then I'll be able to like survey my own personal needs and get
Okay.
questions from that.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you don't have anything, top of mind, no pressure, no worries. Um,
I have
I
a
would. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
everybody just like let's say there's a say 20 times income, 6 plus months, and 10 times income. I don't know whether everybody online everybody understand why they say that.
Repeat that one more time.
So there's some numbers. The left side is your current financial situation, that's a question marks. And the right side, your future financial goal. And on the first layer is a proper protection. It's 10 times income. And also there's some numbers. If for debt management, it's 0. Emergency fund, 6 plus month. And investment, 20 times income. I don't know whether everybody online understand why they put the numbers like that over there.
Mhm.
Is that how much money it takes for you to be safe with your emergency fund and with your investment? They need 20 times that and then 3 months for.
So Osase, you mind elaborating this part?
Yeah, absolutely. So
Okay.
remember we talked about the ideally when it looks at proper protection, we want to look at items and investments like well, not investments, but instruments like life insurance. Uh, if you have, loved ones who are counting on you, and God forbid, you die, then if you 10x the income is going to replace the lost salary. It's also going to, in many cases, cover the personal residence, your lodging. If there's any educational ideas that you have for your children or grandchildren, it should help contribute to that. And it also should help to pay off any debt. There's an acronym called DIME.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't want to get too deep into it because I know we didn't have much time, but that's a great question. You do want to have a substantial amount of coverage so that you can protect your loved ones, so that you can have them, I was going to say that you'll feel better, but you won't be here, but you'll have peace of mind knowing that they'll be able to pay off their personal residence in many cases. Um, Depending on if you have any annuities, you know, there'll be beneficiary death benefit for that. So we want to 10x it to cover an assortment of things. And as far as the investments, again, when you talk about 20xing the income, when you talk about investments, you first of all want to make certain that you're investing with what's called discretionary funds. Discretionary funds just simply means it's money that if you lose it, it won't be a detriment to your personal livelihood. It may impact your lifestyle, but it's not going to be a personal detriment to your living arrangements, to any type of, expenses that are required or what's called fixed expenses in your life. And that 10x should be downside protection against the potential loss of any investment. And when I say investment, let me be specific. I'm talking about a brokerage account. It could also be an IRA, right? Because you invest in different funds in the IRA. Um, Anuwa, you mentioned you have a Roth.
Mhm.
Is it fully funded or do you
Yeah,
just kind of contribute here and there?
contribute here and there.
Okay. So yeah, you know, usually is it professionally managed or do you self-direct? Do you select your own investments or how's that?
Yeah, yeah, in my bank. Yeah.
Okay, so the banker team, they do that, or do you say, hey, I want to be diversified in this, I want to have some domestic, I want to have some bonds, some equities, or do they manage that for you?
No, it's self-directed.
Okay, all right. That would be a great conversation to have. And I definitely know we don't have time to go down that rabbit trail, but
So I
yeah,
was
this is
about to share something real quick. I was just listening to everybody. I read something where it says money management is 80% thinking, 20% math. And I was listening to you when you was talking about the life insurance. And we got so many different types of life insurance out there. Some life insurance only cover just enough for to bury a loved one. And I think that's something we didn't learn growing up. You have life insurance that accumulate interest where it take care of the loved one while you're gone. That's why it's called life insurance. But for so many years, people just had enough just to bury a loved one. But nobody really never thought about like like you said, if I pass, it's enough to pay off the house, cover the college, and this and that. So I think we got to be more knowledgeable on what type of investment, the interest, the return. Is it good for you? Because you got different type of investment. Like I was listening to the sister when she said about the bank. At my job, I could hire somebody where they feel like what's best for me in investments, or I could go online and juggle things around myself, do my homework and see which one is doing good, which one is not, and I can move stuff around. Which it takes time and work, discipline, but it's okay if you want to hire somebody to do that work for you. That's why you got professional people, people who are knowledgeable in that area. So it is wise to, we don't know it all, but to get the help, somebody to coach you, lead you, teach you, and really study what's going on out there.
yeah. I got a quick question, Charles and Anua. If there was an opportunity for you to use life insurance as a proverbial bank, would
Mm.
that be something that you'd be interested in?
I was just I heard about this about 6 months ago, and I said as soon as I get some money, I was going to get an irrevocable trust and then buy insurance with my tax money and then just pay that because I just don't want to be continuously not having money, but get like large amounts of money, but then go back into like the same trends again. So I was told you can pull money out. Um, I could have it explained, but if I can just start the process and then have it explained as I get involved in it, that's how I'm going to be able to be introduced to new habits, practice new habits, and then be living new habits. So,
Yeah, I can actually share with you a strategy where you don't have to initially have a revocable trust.
okay.
It's the way it's structured, and you can actually literally use it as a bank. I've done it. I still do, and it's very profitable.
Yeah.
But it has to be structured right.
But
And
that's what I heard. That was the key, structured right and utilized right. So,
yeah.
okay, definitely. So that's three things. First, it was the book, and then the Roth IRA, and
Oh
then
man, you taking notes here, huh?
yeah. It just looks like the amount of information because like financial literacy is just the umbrella, but there's just so many other things, and I've just been feeling like because of like my income that it's impossible. But there just are some things that are out there that I need to just sacrifice. I'll take my tax return when it comes, just to do some sure plans, get involved in the system that'll actually, take me out of the financial bracket that I'm in.
Okay. Did you have an opportunity to complete the JOT form?
The job form?
Yeah. Yes.
I think it was a part WhatsApp. Let me see.
Yeah.
Was it WhatsApp?
Yeah, you did. You dropped phone.
Okay, you did complete the JOT form.
Yeah, so she did. Yes, I think it's very important that we learned the financial literacy and the knowledge, but we also know how to utilize those tools to help us to solve the financial problems, right? And today is very good training and also sharing from different friends and your insights. But no matter whether it feels like, oh, it's my lesson or my tips, everybody contributes something, right? We learn. And thank you so much. I don't want to keep everybody's stay here too long, and we want to respect everybody's time. So next week we are going to talk about this one. I think it's related to today's message, and it's about here. I want to show you week 3. Can you see my screen?
It didn't
Not
load
yet,
yet.
Libby.
Okay.
Yes,
there we go.
yes, yeah.
So why smart people making mistakes? Yes, I know we all want to stay smart, but sometimes we definitely need to learn from other people's mistakes and those mistakes. So next week, we're going to discuss what we have learned and also learn from each other. Why do capable people make costly money mistakes? What role do emotions play? What mistake taught you the most?
Mm.
That's good.
Good
Very
question.
powerful.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We are going to
Wow.
discuss
That's
those
good.
tips. And I think that your contributions definitely were worth $1 million.
Yeah.
Hope we can invite more people to join our discussion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Thank you for your participation, and hope to see you next Monday.
Thank you.
Monday Money Mindset.
Thank you.
Thank you, Libby.
All right. Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Good night,
Sanjay.
everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Charles and Noah and